Hi guys. Today we are going over a new math concept. So we're moving on in our book. But it builds off of two skills that you guys have worked on throughout the year. So I'm going to go over what those ones are, and then we'll talk about how we apply it to something new. For today, we want to be able to write equivalent fractions to add fractions with denominators of 10 and 100. This is a little different from what we were doing before because now we have unlike denominators when we're adding. So one denominator will be 10 and one will be 100. So what you guys know already, you guys know how to make equivalent fractions. That's super important. And we're going to build off of how we make equivalent fractions using multiplication and division. You know the relationship between 10 and 100. So you know that 10 times 10 equals 100, and 100 divided by 10 equals 10. And we're also going to talk about our zeros trick that I taught you guys at the beginning of the year. That's going to be really important for this. And also in terms of money, we know that $1 is the same thing as 10 dimes and the same thing as 100 pennies. So a dollar equals 10 dimes and 10 dimes equals 100 pennies. So if you guys want to get out dimes and pennies for this lesson, you can. It might be helpful to have them, but I will also show you other ways that you can represent this. First, just a quick review of our zeros trick. I want you guys to look at when we multiply. Remember I taught you guys if I did 23 times 1, I would have 23, but when I multiply it by 10, I add that 0. So remember my digits move one space to the left, and I had to add in that 0. When you multiply a number by 10, you add 1 0 to the number that you are multiplying. So if you need to review your zeros tricks, you can look at this page on your slide, Interpreting Place Value. Vocabulary we need to know for this lesson are the first one is tenth, and each part of a whole when the whole is partitioned into 10 equal parts. So you see below here in the example, I have 10 equal parts. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the part that's shaded in represents 1/10. A hundredth, if I'm saying something is so many hundredths. Each part of a whole when the whole is partitioned into 100 equal parts. So below my picture looks a little bit different. I have 100 parts. And the image below right here, just my shaded purple part, is 100th. So that's how I would say it. And this is what it looks like, 1 out of 100. So I'm going to use 4/10 to model how we would find an equivalent fraction with 100 in the denominator. That means I'm going to have 4 out of 10 equals something out of 100. I'm going to show you with base 10 and hundreds blocks, with pennies and dimes, and then using equivalent fractions. My first way is base 10 blocks. If I had 4/10, this is what it would look like. I would have my 10 base 10 blocks, and 4 of them would be shaded in. That's 4 out of 10 shaded in. If I were to split my blocks again into 10 equal parts, I would end up with 100 equal parts. If I still shaded in my 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, if I count up all the spaces, all of the hundredths in this section, I would have 40 hundredths. So I know that 4/10 equals 40 hundredths, and this is what it looks like. If I'm using pennies and dimes, let's say I want 40 cents. I know that each dime is 10 cents, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4 dimes times 10 cents each is 40 cents. Okay, so that's 4 out of my 10 dimes. If I go over here, I want to know how many pennies are equal to 40 cents. So again, 100 pennies equals $1. I know that